Thank you, Valerie, so much. Thank you. All right, thank you so much for watching 10 Faves. I launched 10 Faves this summer, and I've done 40 products a week, unguested. That means just me by myself every week. 40 products a week. Just, and this, I will tell you, I was the most nervous about talking about this because no one can replace Suze Orman. Suze Orman is part of our HSN family now, and she is a force to be reckoned with. She has our best interest at heart, and I love that. What she is doing here is a kit called the Money Tools 4-Disc Financial Solutions Kit, $173 value for $53. Now, you are getting these words of wealth, you are getting home ownership. Can I just tell you something? She's got a list of never do this, never do that, and then on the back, she's got a list of always do that. I'm not gonna lie to you, Chris, my producer. I've done many of the never do's, a lot of these. I'm telling you, never buy a home if you plan to move within 5 years. I've done that. So, yeah, I've done that. I didn't know you were, you know what? Now I've got Suze in my corner, and what I love about this, you know, one of my favorite things about Suze, home ownership, student loans, never and always, life insurance, never and always, cars, never and, okay, I have been following her never the cars, because I bought a car after I found out about this, investments, retirement, and also your credit debit FICO scores. There's a never, there's an always, estate planning, emergency saving fund, never and always. And the other thing is that you've got things like your will and trust. You've got things like the Protection 10 ebook library set, the Insurance Evaluator Saver, Personal Finance online course. Start with that, guys. When I was watching Suze Orman, so excited to watch her, that she has all this information that's continually updated, that, you know, she went to her personal, you know, lawyer that you would charge $2,500 for her to do your will. She has got all that information here, and here's some of the things that you're doing. Your tax record, home ownership, your will, living trust, all these things that you want to protect yourself and your family. And I will say I'm pretty good about, you know, the will and the living trust, and I've done, but some of the other things about like buying, there's a big wealth, and I've read books about it. You know, my mom, when I graduated from college, gave me a book about how to handle my money, but my mom's a women's studies professor. I don't know if everybody's mother is a women's studies professor and have taught them things, but the value is phenomenal. You can see $90 just for the, you know, the DVD, $54 and $29.95, $173.95. It's a weekend special of $54. And I'm gonna tell you something, when you get this home, you're also gonna get a code. And I'm not saying anything that Suze hasn't said herself. When you get the code for your personal kit that you order, she's telling you to share it with your friends. If your best friends come over and say, gosh, I wish I could have that, give it to her. You can give her the code. You can share the information. Suze is all about empowering all of us to be able to get control and handle our financial situation. And, you know, I think it's something that a lot of us are afraid to talk about. A lot of us, you know, we've made mistakes. We're not, you know, we're not all perfect. And I'm confessing right at the beginning of this that in the things of home ownership, you know, never do this, never do that. I've done some of the things that you're supposed to never do. And I can tell you, I've gotten into some trouble. Like, for example, I've never done this one, but never co-sign a mortgage loan for anyone. I can tell you that that's really good advice. I've never done that. I don't want you to ever do that. That's really good advice. Some of her nevers about home ownership, never buy a home without a professional home inspection. Boy, is that great advice. But you know what? Some of these, like, not everybody, you know, not everybody knows them. And there's so many tips, so many things for your whole life that once you own this, you're gonna feel like a grown-up. You're gonna feel like you have a handle on your life. And I love Suze Orman's philosophy, which is, you know, people take precedent over things. So if you're thinking, you know, oh, should I buy that brand new car? Well, think about this, you know, can you afford it first? I think a lot of us don't, take the time to think about, oh, you go and see that house and you say, gosh, I'd love that house. Well, that's kind of different than you can afford that house. One of her tips is never buy a home with less than 10% down. That's one of her tips. And, these are tips for you to read, but I think that they're also inspirational. One of my favorite things are her words of wealth, which is live your life by these words, which is when you make when you make average great, your dreams become a reality. I love that. And it is your profound fear of loss that keeps you from gain. I mean, these are all great words to live by. And she's just an amazing person. I don't pretend at all to be the person presenting this. Suze Orman, please watch her show. When is her next show, Chris? 1 p.m. today. Watch her live. This is, again, of all the 10 Faves products I've ever done, I've been the most nervous about telling you about